You can't hate yourself into someone you would love. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you why that is, what I think is a better alternative, and where a lot of that self-hate comes from. So let's start off with that last part. Where does the self-hate come from? So a lot of us are online a lot of the time these days, and the problem with online is that the top 1% of people are displayed all of the time. Here we have two phones, obviously two wonderfully beautiful stick people that I drew, and this is what we see. We see people that are better looking than us, we see people that are richer than us, more successful, better at whatever we're striving to be, and it can be harmful because as humans, we compare ourselves to these people, and it makes us feel bad for where we're at. And the self-hate comes from the fact that we have this idea of where we should be. We have a belief of where/who we should be, and there's a disconnect between where you are and where you think you should be, and you hate yourself for the fact that you're not there, and you're disappointed in your past self for not getting you to where you think you could be at this circumstance. And that's painful. And that pain has some use. This guilt, shame, and embarrassment absolutely have the power to get you to realize, hey, I need to start making progress towards where I want to be. But the problem with that is that this is not sustainable. It's not healthy to continue in this way. There was this story where this man hated himself for being overweight, and he lost all his weight, and when he got to the end, he reached his goal, he realized, I still hate myself. I've developed this habit of hating myself, and that's not an easy thing to break. It's not sustainable, it's not healthy. Along the way, you're gonna be hating yourself, and it's just a miserable way to live. So what do I think is a better way to do it? I think the best way to do it is to judge yourself on what you're doing rather than what you've done. I don't care if you are overweight, broke, and whatever else. If you are taking right now to try to change that and are doing everything in your power to benefit yourself, you should absolutely love yourself for what you're doing. You're doing everything in your power. How could you hate yourself for doing everything in your power to give your future self a better life? And that's the beauty from it. You can start right away loving yourself. And not only that, but it holds you accountable for doing the things you want to do, working towards where you want to be. It's not that you need to go on a run. You don't need to try to make more money. But if this is something you sincerely want, those are things you want to run. You want to diet. You want these things because they're tools to get you to where you want. And I think that's a much healthier way to go about it. And the last part of this video, I want to talk about this idea of that our brain doesn't work in don'ts. If I tell you to not think of a flower, as soon as the word flower came out of my mouth, it went into your head. Our brains don't work like that. And when you tell yourself, don't be fat, don't be socially awkward, don't do this, your brain just hears these things and it keys in on them. So don't say, don't do this, say, I'm gonna be a more fun person to be around. I'm gonna work on my humor. I'm gonna work on being a good conversationalist. I'm gonna do these. Look to where you wanna go, not from where you came from. Because our brains are much better at seeing somewhere to go and going towards it than it is at seeing where you are and you're gonna stay there. So I hope you found this video, useful. I really hope you guys have the best time with this and don't hate yourself for where you're at, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that love you. And if they love you, you should too.